cycle is so you do first to do the particular action, and then you figure out what has happened, what were the results that you found out from that, and then with the results you have, what are you trying to imply, so what does that result say to you, and how can you influence the outcome. So that means how will you change that result, or how will you manipulate what you have done to get a better result. So, and how will you do it differently next time? So based on the results and what it has come out, you decide on how you differently do it. So that this is the experiential learnings cycle. All right, so that's too much technical probably, so let's just take an example. So for example, you want to learn something, maybe take an example of cooking. So you read a recipe book and start off with making coffee. So even though this book specifies exact ingredient amounts, measures of that, of course you do play around in the ratio that you put coffee and decoction and everything, and then you try to make it better. So this is experiential learning in simple terms. So the same philosophy applies for everything else. How much you learn by improving it, right? So now it's not just watching and watching. So it's just a cycle also, right? So you watch first, you watch how it is to be done, you build that, and then learn from what you have learned, and then go on. So watch here refers to the videos and resources for uh, like you use to learn the topic. Okay, so we are talking about experiential learning and everything, but our main agenda here is to learn Arduino, right? So why we are explaining experiential learning? So Arduino is a classic example of this experiential learning cycle. So how do you ask? So development boards are found everywhere today. Something mechanical, do you want to automate those mechanical things, you go with development board. And then you want to build a drone or a automatic temperature controller, all those things can be done by development boards. So let's take some examples. So now you want to make an automatic lighting system, so you use development boards and you want to build your own computer. So when you mention own computer, it is for a particular task. So the objects you see every day have development boards in them. For example, take your TVs, it has a development board, or your refrigerator, your AC, all have a particular development board which will enable you to perform that action. So now let's consider you want to build a smart light project. So when people is inside the room, you want the light to be turned on, and when they go out, you want the light to be turned off. So this is the operation you want. So what do you need? So first you need some inputs. You want something to detect that emotion is there or a person is inside the room. So we have a sensor. So then that is used as input to the development board. So development board will be our brain. So will be the brain of the action. So then the development board will take in that input, and then based on how what the signal is. So for example, if the person is inside, then it will say, hey, there's a person inside, turn on the light. So it will switch on the light, and then if there is no person, maybe it's not detected any motion, or there is no person in the room, then it say switch off the light. So that's how we turn off the light. So this is a basic example of how uh, we use a development board. Now, there are so many things that is involved here in a single development board. There are many kinds of development boards, and Arduino is one such development board. And they're used by engineers all around the world to build and prototype real world systems. Wherever you go for minor project in a college, everything, we choose Arduino because it's a beginner level, and then you can understand easily and how to build and develop better. However, Arduino is not just a development board. It is a platform. It is an open source platform. So what do you mean by open source? That means all the details of what has been put into the Arduino, how to connect, are all open to the public, which you can use and then make it better. So this open source platform is for building and prototyping projects. So it is used by students, hobbyists all around the world, and it has created a revolution currently. Millions of students today are easily able to convert their creative ideas into real world projects with the invention of Arduino. Arduino is so
So
popular, not, yeah.
Sorry for the interruption. Many students couldn't join the meet, sir.
Okay.
Is there any YouTube link or something? Because many students are interested to participate in this.
Yeah, it will be shared soon.
Yeah, ma'am.
YouTube Live is there.
You will be sharing this in this meet chat
I
box right now. Yeah,
Anirudh,
thank
actually we're hosting this meet on Google Meet, and we are admitting all the participants who are willing to join. Currently we have 94 and more are joining, and we're admitting